When Romelu Lukaku returns from the World Cup, he will be a different player to the one who said goodbye to his Manchester United teammates after May's FA Cup final defeat to Chelsea. At least in the eyes of those who have been so quick to criticize the Belgian international. Jose Mourinho needed no convincing of the 25-year-old's worth to his team after his £75 million from Everton, nor did his colleagues. They dubbed him the Beast after watching the manner in which he bullied opposition defences in his first season at Old Trafford, and a return of 27 goals was an emphatic response to those who questioned his ability to cut it at the highest. But his outstanding performances in Russia have won him wider appreciation, with his near-perfect display against Brazil in the quarter-final an example of how he's developed into an all-round striker. He is already a better player than the one who arrived last summer, telling those close to him the lessons he'd learned from his drought from October to November were pivotal to his blistering return to form in the new year. That was evident as Brazil's defenders simply couldn't handle him in Belgium's 2-1 quarter-final win. It's like playing in the school playground and you have a 16-year-old playing against the 11-year-olds, Rio Ferdinand told the BBC. It's like that. He's too big and too strong for everyone. He shouldn't be allowed to play with them almost. England legend Alan Shearer added, I've been very impressed with him. Pace, power, touch, strength, technique, bringing people into the game, and he's played that role very well because he's been asked to do a different one, to pull out wide a little bit to create space for Hazard or De Bruyne. You could tell after 4 or 5 minutes when the ball went up to him you thought, he's in the mood tonight. Lukaku has been one of the stars of the World Cup. Earlier in the week, one senior member of Mourinho's staff was left purring about Lukaku's involvement in Belgium's dramatic late winner against Japan. His movement, combined with his presence of mind to dummy, rather than shoot, demonstrated qualities rarely associated with him. Lukaku's game has been all about his pace, power and physical presence at the point of attack. But his contribution to Nacer Chadli's last gasp strike was about subtlety, awareness and intelligence. What was so impressive about his step-over, quite apart from the selflessness of the act, was Lukaku's improvisation in an otherwise frustrating game. Japan's touch-tight attention to him had already seen repeated efforts blocked from close range. With Makoto Hasebe sliding in to block his path again, he resisted the temptation for glory and the chance to strengthen his own challenge to win the Golden Boot, instead leaving Chadli free to score one of the goals of the tournament. It was a testament to his willingness to take on the advice of key mentors in the form of Didier Drogba and Thierry Henry, and his obsessive determination to study the game's best strikers. He has watched Edinson Cavani intently, trying to mimic the Uruguayan's movement inside the box. It's an area of Lukaku's game that Mourinho is eager to improve, and one the player accepts he's still to fully hone. Lukaku's dummy was one of the moments of the World Cup. He still talks to Drogba, the player he idolized and studied to the point that he'd remember what boots the Ivorian wore when scoring specific goals for Marseille and later Chelsea. He dreamed of following in his footsteps at Stamford Bridge and fully expected to return to the club he supported as a boy last summer. Chelsea's dithering over a move for their former academy graduate instead gave United the chance to swoop, and convinced Lukaku, Mourinho was the man most serious about helping to turn him into a world-class centre-forward. Manchester United transfer news. Live Man U fixtures and Lukaku updates. But United are continuing to benefit from outside influences like Drogba. He is someone who wants to learn, Drogba told the BBC. I spoke to him a lot about taking short steps like a tennis player before he hits the ball. It gives you more accuracy and it's easier to shoot. I was happy giving him advice and he's taking it from Thierry Henry as well. When you want to be the best, you have to learn from the best. Lukaku has scored 4 goals for Belgium at this World Cup. Everybody knows Didier Drogba is a bit of a big brother for me, said Lukaku ahead of Friday's World Cup quarter-final against Brazil. He's helped me since I arrived in England. He demands a lot from me because he knows I have potential to do big things. I know where he's coming from and now I need to prove my worth on the field. It is his similarities to Drogba that makes Lukaku so appealing to Mourinho. The United manager believes Premier League teams are at their most effective with a powerful front man, capable of holding up play with his back to goal. Drogba and later Diego Costa were key to 3 titles at Chelsea combined, and Mourinho is hoping Lukaku can have the same effect at United once he gets the right balance in midfield and attack to fully exploit his qualities. His work with Henry with Belgium is an added bonus. Manchester United transfer news. Jose Mourinho squad. Anthony Martial. The France, Arsenal and Barcelona legend has developed a close relationship with Lukaku, who has made a point of working on his all-round game in a bid to emulate Henry. The dummy against Japan was a perfect example of that, as was his ability to play in a wider role against Brazil to stretch the defense and make space for Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard to attack. As impressive as his first season was at United, Mourinho has every reason to believe it could get significantly better. Get all the latest Manchester United news first with our new app. Download it here now.